I know we had Summer League a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if you guys want to maybe focus on a player or just your overall takeaways with Summer League for the Detroit Pistons.
Hey, Blake, you want to take the obvious one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just Ron Holland, like what a showing. I think this year was a weird summer league for the Pistons, obviously, because it's the first year in however many years that you don't have a top 5 pick or even a first round pick that you're like looking forward to seeing them the first time in Pistons colors. They just get drafted and you're excited to watch them finally on the court. But I mean, you have Chaz Lanier, who we can probably talk about a little bit, but when you have Ron Holland, who gets a few games under his belt and just comes out firing, like I think the biggest takeaways, which is like different compared to the last few years for what we were trying to take away as fans from Summer League, is like you want your year 2 guy who you think could eventually grow into a huge piece of this team and could be a potential like big extension player later on. Like you kind of want him to go out there and dominate. And he exactly did that. Like he was pretty much the best player on the court every time he was on the court. And honestly could have been one of the best players like playing in Summer League in general. So I think that's like the biggest takeaway. It's super obvious. Like I wish maybe there was something a little more niche we could go into, but I just think like Pistons fans in general have to be thrilled with what they saw from Ron Holland.
Yeah, and can I ask you guys both this? Is it fair to say that Ron Holland may have had the best Piston young player summer league performance that I can remember, like recent memory? I'm going back to like Cade's rookie year. It was pretty good. It wasn't this good. I mean, Ivy and Duran looked very good when they were doing their second stint, but Ron Holland was dominant here in a way that I don't think we've seen as Pistons fans for second-year players in quite some time.
I'm thinking previous regimes. I'm thinking like Henry Ellenson just chucking
I
stuff.
was
like,
just gonna
Henry
say
Ellenson
that.
was really good. Yeah, he was. So I mean, like, you know, all that's worth, right? But best summer league performance since Henry Ellenson.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a sicko for even remembering that. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're just talking about like both ends of the floor, like when I was looking at the numbers, like 4 steals a game, I was like, how the hell did he average 4 steals a game? And then like the 3-point percentage just jumping up to like I'm pretty good volume too, over 40% from 3. So I mean, he did say like I've been working on the shot and like it looks better, like he's landing better. I never really questioned the form with him. It was just like, getting in the gym with Fred Vincent. You can obviously see that he's been putting in a lot of work in.
Yeah, and I think I'm interested, like, to see if that's the thing that sticks. I mean, we knew that was a big part of where Holland had to grow, and I mean, it's nice to see him connect on decent volume and a high percentage in summer league. So, I mean, that's the thing I'll be most intrigued about going into the regular season. I don't think he'll all of a sudden jump up and like shoot like he did in summer league, but I think it's at least like a positive that aspect of his game is growing. Cause I mean, he's still like 20 years old. So I think he has plenty of time to grow in that sense. And I was thrilled to see it go down in summer league. Like we wanted to see so much over last season.
And it wasn't just like that the shot was going in so much. I mean, it was obviously that was really exciting to see. But like you mentioned it, you said he got volume. He did. It was up over 5 3-point attempts per game, right? Well, Ron Holland also almost got to the line 9 times per game.
Yeah.
So this wasn't coming at the expense of any of his other stuff, any of the other stuff that we know he does well. He was still getting to the rim. He was still getting content. He was still getting to the contact, still getting to the free throw line. And now he's also being able to pop from 3 at a good volume and hit a decent amount of them, right? Like that's what you want to see. If you want to see, and you want to say Ron Holland is going to be, this really good scorer for the Pistons one day, that's the kind of stuff you need to see. He needs to be shooting it. He needs to be getting to the line, putting pressure on the rim. He did that in Summer League. It was honestly, he was further along than I thought he was going to be. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what you want to see out of your second year player in summer league. Like you want to see him just dominate, and I thought he did that. Um, I don't want to say the word like disappointment, but what were you guys' just thoughts with like Bobby Clipman? Because I felt like a lot of eyes were on him because the last summer league he kind of just flashed his passing and his ability to shoot the basketball. Like, what were your takes with like this his overall game in the process?
Yeah, I mean, I think up and down for sure. Like we all saw it, and I mean, he had that one 20-point game, and I think the tough thing is like, and going back to a little about how the summer league in general was different when you're watching, like specifically for the Pistons, is like just how you want to see your year two, year three guys who are out there dominate. Like if you see some of those year two, year three guys like struggle a bit in that setting, it's definitely a cause for concern. I mean, like, I'm not saying let's just cast Bobby Clintman off by any means. Like, I still think he could potentially contribute to this roster. And I mean, I always kind of saw him as like a bench player, maybe eventually filling that Simone Fontecchio role from last season. Different kind of player, of course. And I mean, Wes brought it up when we recorded last week. I think the passing is like what you should be intrigued about the most, up and down there a little bit too in summer league. So I don't know. Obviously, we're looking for a little more from Bobby Clintman, but I don't think I'm fully out on the Bobby Clintman experience either.
Yeah, and it's just tough, right? Because like you're looking at a guy who's really more of a power forward than he is a center. Like I look at him more as a forward than a big. Well, no, I guess I should say a big. He could play the 4 and the 5. I just see him more sitting at the 4 for the majority of his minutes. And like at that position, he's got to do something other than pass the ball. He's a
Mhm.
very good passer. I think that skill stands out. It jumps off the page. In summer league, it jumped off the page. If you watch any of his G League stuff as well last year, like the kid can pass the basketball and he sees the floor very well. So that's his NBA skill. But I mean, we kind of saw, this is a terrible comparison, but we saw this book play out a little bit with Killian Hayes. Like that's a great skill to have, but if that's your one thing, it's not going to get you all that far. Killian Hayes was also a very good defender, so he had a second, and it still didn't get him all that far, right? So like you're looking at Bobby Clipman, and I think he's got potential as a defender, but it wasn't there consistently in the summer league. I think he's got potential as a shooter, but he struggled with that. And you got to be really worried about just his percentage from the floor, just the inability to put the ball in the basket against summer league competition. That is a big time concern for a guy that spends a lot of time near the rim. So like I'm with you. Disappointing maybe is too harsh of a word, because he did flash legitimate NBA skill as
Yeah.
a facilitator, which is something that he absolutely could be used in like the short roll or as a DHO kind of guy, right? Doing those passes that we see Jalen Duren successfully complete all the time at the NBA level. It's just he's got to find something else.
Yeah, like given his height and his size, I thought he would attack the basket more. He did it a little
Mhm.
bit in the Heat game, but that's the one thing with him that I've been critiquing. Like you're big enough, I think you should just go up strong and just attack the basket. But it kind of seems like he's more looking to pass first, like you mentioned. The 3-point shot when it's falling, it's good. I caught a lot of his G League games this year. Like I know you do some G League stuff as well. Man, they played him in every position. Like they played him point guard some games, like center, shooting guard. I think it's just a development thing with him. I think he might spend a whole nother year in the cruise because I just don't really feel that he's ready for rotational minutes right now, just based off the G League games and the summer league games that I've watched. I think it's just going to be another development year for him personally.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't think he's going to be a part of this rotation. I mean, even if he came out and like had a really good summer league, I would still say the same thing. I think the tough thing is though is just like us, and I think the most majority of Pistons fans have been just dying for one of these second round picks to work out.
Yeah.
So or not even like work out in the sense and like blowing up to be the next like Nikola Jokic or a lesser player that's but just like a good rotational player. And I don't think we've seen the long-term vision of like Clintman being a rotational guy, but like, I mean, Danis Jenkins, who you brought in as an undrafted free agent, had a great summer league. Like if he's able to be a rotation player or like a third guard that you use when you need to, like that's a big win. And I think that is honestly the same thing as like if you hit on a second round pick and then you have your rookie from this year, Chaz Lanier, like you don't know what he's going to be. So it's another shot, I guess. But I think mainly like that's where the disappointment, I guess, with what we saw from Bobby Clipman is coming from.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys want to touch on Danis Jenkins? Like I felt like he was probably the most second productive Piston in the summer league.
Yeah, I mean, I'll touch on Danis Jenkins. I was super excited by what I saw. I thought he looked incredible in summer league, which from a, like Blake, you just said, like undrafted guy last year. He spent the whole season with the Crews, and he comes into summer league, and truthfully, like he looked too good for summer league over 5 games, which you don't honestly expect a second round pick to look too good for summer league. And I thought Danis Jenkins just flat out looked like he didn't belong there. I was surprised almost that they didn't shut him down when they shut down Ron Holland. He shot the ball. He was making plays as a passer. He orchestrated the offense extremely well. He got his own. He was a really fun defender. I mean, what he did against Reed Sheppard was entertaining basketball. He made Reed Sheppard really upset that Houston was playing him still in the summer league at that point. And I don't think that he's going to get that last or one of these last 2 roster spots. I think he made as good an argument as you can as a player in his position could make for it. And I imagine they keep him on this 2-way deal going all the way through the season. By the time we get to March, maybe you are talking about Danis Jenkins getting that full-time roster spot and being on the roster the season after as well. So I think he was exciting, and he's shown a lot more potential than any of us could have expected.
Yeah, and I think you've seen like the Pistons, and I mean it's pretty much across the NBA. Like teams, when you get up to that games requirement for 2-way players, just converting guys onto like non-guaranteed NBA deals. So it seems like that is sort of the path for Jenkins, and like what he did in summer league. Like, I mean, I don't think he'll do that in NBA games, but like, why can't he be an energy guy off the bench when you need him to, or someone else is in foul trouble and you need to go to him, or no one can buy a bucket, so you have to throw a curveball and have Danis Jenkins in there? Like, I think that is what he sort of showed he could be with summer league. I mean, again, it's like asking a lot because of he's a second year undrafted free agent guy, but I mean, I think you have to be excited about what he did too.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing with him that I've always really been impressed with is just the pace and the way he plays, and he's really under control. And he exploded the second half of the G League season. I mean, he was damn near averaging 30 points a game. Didn't really get to see him too much with the Detroit Pistons, but to your point, Wes, like maybe he's a break the glass third string center. You know how summer content goes. You see some people in the Pistons community saying he's better than Marcus Sasser. Like I saw that, I was like, man, what? I was like, what are we doing, you guys?
Yeah, that's too far. That's taking it too far. But like, it's you always got to scale things down a bit with the undrafted free agents and with your second round picks in general. So like when you're getting really excited about a Danis Jenkins, like you justified, get excited about Danis Jenkins, but get excited of him as like your fourth point guard on this roster. Or maybe one day he could be the third point guard on a roster that you are just pumped to have as a luxury, right? Where if your backup goes down or Jaden Ivey eventually goes down, you could turn that backup group over to Danis Jenkins for 10 to 15 games, and it's not going to sink the ship. He's going to be solid, and you don't take too much of a step back. Like that's the kind of guy that I think you're looking at here. And the fact that he's so far ahead of schedule makes me even more comfortable with the guard rotation right now. If you're going to have Danis Jenkins on a 2-way, like sure, don't bring in another vet point guard. I'm totally fine. If Jaden Ivey gets injured and Marcus Sasser's struggling for a night, call up Danis Jenkins. I'm pretty confident that he won't sink the ship.
Yeah, I think it's a good luxury to have.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's thunder.
Someone breaking in?
It was thunder. It sounded like a gunshot.